When you walk onto a work site, the dangers are obvious. Heavy steel beams swing overhead, and unharnessed drops present immediate physical risks. But underlying these physical hazards is a secondary structure, the rules of the site that govern every action. In a court of law, ignorance of these rules is not a valid defense. Operating without understanding this legal framework is a significant operational risk. Legislation consists of the official rules enacted by the state to protect people, assets, and the environment. These laws act as a blueprint for survival and accountability, defining exactly what is expected of every person on a worksite. This legal structure is built in layers, starting with the Act. An Act is passed by Parliament to establish broad policy principles. It sets the main legal goals, but it does not list specific daily procedures. To find those specific instructions, you look to regulations. Regulations are subsidiary laws that fill in the detailed procedures left out of the main Act. Regulations never stand alone. They are legally anchored to a specific Act, providing the guidelines for how that Act must be applied. This list shows the electrical installation regulations. It takes a broad legal mandate and breaks it down into precise, numbered rules for handling electrical machinery safely. By understanding this hierarchy, an HSE professional can trace any daily safety practice back to the specific law that requires it. When these critical worksite rules are completely ignored and a dangerous incident occurs, the focus immediately shifts to accountability. To manage this, you must understand three terms. First is ambit. Ambit refers to the specific scope or range of a law's influence. Second is liability. Liability is the state of being legally responsible for an act you committed, or an omission, which is something you failed to do. Third is delict. A delict is a civil wrong between two parties. While it isn't a crime, it requires financial compensation to address the harm caused. These terms transform a workplace from a set of physical tasks into a web of binding legal responsibilities. Liability moves through the chain of command via vicarious liability, where one entity is responsible for another's actions. The employer sits at the top, carrying ultimate liability for organizational failures. Below them, supervisors must enforce safety rules. Ignoring known hazards brings direct liability. Every employee has a legal duty to follow instructions. A worker faces personal liability if they refuse to use safety equipment provided for their protection. This shared chain of duty ensures that a single failure at any level can be traced back to the person responsible. How do organizations manage these complex legal responsibilities during their daily operations? They use a structured health, safety, and environment management system. These systems follow the PDCA cycle: plan, do, check, and act. In this system, legal compliance is the baseline requirement, located in the plan phase. It is the starting point, not the final objective. The law defines the standard you must reach, but the management system provides the tools to achieve and document that standard. Safety liability follows the path of industrial impact, moving from the machinery inside the facility to the natural environment outside the gates. The National Environmental Management Act, or NEMA, establishes that preventing environmental degradation is a strict legal duty. Environmental law is unique because liability cannot be transferred or contracted away. The person or entity that causes the pollution is responsible for the costs. This responsibility pierces the corporate veil. Directors, managers, and even individual employees can be held financially responsible for the full cost of remediation. This legal structure ensures that the responsibility for safety and pollution remains with the people who manage the risk. It creates a system where the costs of failure are borne by the organization rather than the surrounding community.